Good morning. From a stock specific perspective, it's not going to be a very long trade setup. So we might get done very soon because it's just that kind of a day where an uh, actionable stocks are just uh, very few. Let's take stock of the news flow first, and the markets will start off on a back foot because stocks are set. In fact, the US stocks were set for or did do 2023's worst sell-off on the rate reset. S&P 500 wiped out all of its monthly gains. Morgan Stanley's Wilson calls time on rally for pricey shares. Not surprising there. Goldman sees Fed hiking further 75 basis points on stronger growth. And Fed minutes, people say, will likely show support level for larger hikes and a higher peak. All of this is not positive for risk assets. And therefore, I think today's event of the Fed meet is likely going to be the center stage of all things trading. Well, it actually became center stage yesterday itself because the US markets did have a very sharp knockdown. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P, all of them down over 2%, and not a pretty picture. The yields hit certainly went up. So if you look at the US 10-year yield, 3.93. I mean, this 14 basis points is incorrect, but all I'm saying is that there was uh, a sharp uptick there in 10-year US yields yesterday. 3.93 is very close to the highest levels that we've been there around there in a while. Volatility inched up as well. Dollar index kind of steady at 104. So not great. And therefore the SGX Nifty should be down. I mean, irrespective of whatever we show today, SGX Nifty should be lower, up about 0.5%, trading with cuts there. And remember, Asian stocks have tracked the US declines on the rising Fed fear. So what's the trade setup therefore for the day? You know that Upticks are getting sold into the false break. The breakout attempt last week was sold into very quickly, and we are looking at lower levels. So therefore, very unlikely that for the day today we are likely to see any major upsides ahead of the FOMC minutes. So leave that out. We're now starting to see outperforming sectors, especially the ones which have the rate impact getting pulled back. So mid cap tech. Yesterday, for example, the platform companies were still seeing buying, but you have to admit or you have to bear in mind that some of the expensive stocks will now start seeing unwinding or bit of profit booking as well. So yesterday, for example, in mid cap tech, which has had a stunning rally, we saw a bit of long unwinding happening for sure in the likes of Persistent. We've seen KPIT, for example, come down from levels of 860, 870 to 820. So we're starting to see long unwinding, or in the case of non-FNO stocks, some bit of cash market selling already. Very likely that that may well continue today. And you just starting to now see the exchange data on lower trading volumes consistently day by day, and which is leading to exodus from investments in equity market activity related businesses. So brokerages, right? Uh, from highs of nearly 2000, the angel broking stock is at 1050. Some of the AMC stocks have not done anything for the longest time. A clutch of other broking names too have come off, and that shows you that the activity levels having come off, I think the market has recognized it and it's showing in the way the valuations of some of these stocks have corrected. Never mind the fact that they are tech businesses and might have operating leverage, so on and so forth. Somehow, the active clients list is looking woefully short, and therefore those set of businesses are certainly seeing some bit of outtake. The other businesses which are seeing which are going out of favor are PSU banks. The flavor of 2022, they're taking the wrong end of the stick in 2023. In the last 1 month alone, the PSU bank, Nifty PSU bank index has gone down by about 12.88%. And if you leave out an odd Indian bank, and I don't know why that's happened, but everything else, including the much favored State Bank of India, have corrected. A 13% cut in State Bank of India as well. Some of the others like UCO Bank, Bank of India, etc., down 20% apiece. Now, I myself did a piece a few months ago about why PSU banks are a story of the future, and somehow this rally is just unraveled very quickly. Yesterday was no different. PSU Bank Index was the top loser in trade on Tuesday. Bob Canara Bank led losses in the PSU banking space, and both stocks had opened at the day's high, closed at the day's low. Therefore, they form an infamous scandal on the technical charts as well. And experts believe that who knows, there could be some more downside to these stocks. Now, certainly, you don't need me or any expert to tell you that today too very likely that some of these stocks will go off. The question is, do they find some bit of value at some point of time? Because the results aren't looking bad. So that's the key thing. We've heard some very smart money talk about being invested or staying invested in the PSU banks. Samir Arora, for example, in SBI, and that's a stock that a bunch of other people have spoken about as well. I think Girik Capital Monday spoke about having invested and staying invested in State Bank of India. Some other people have taken slightly larger risk with some of the other PSU banks as well. The question is, can they come back or do they stay subdued? For now, of course, it looks like they'll stay subdued, and the charts aren't looking too promising. Some stocks to watch. It's not a very large number, but Adani Enterprises, for whatever it's worth, has repaid 10 crores worth of commercial papers. I don't think this moves the needle on the stock at all, but I just thought it was news and therefore important to bring. Also want to bring out the standard disclaimer that we put out when we talk about any Adani Group stock, that the company is in the process of acquiring 49% stake in Quintillion Business Media, which is the owner of BQ Prime, is the platform that you're watching. So, yes, they've repaid whatever, some measly 10 crores of commercial papers. I don't think it moves the needle. If anything, the Adani Ports announcement yesterday was meaningful. This isn't. Bharat Electronics has signed an accord with ADA and DRDO for Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft Program. Keep in mind, it's just an accord or an MOU, nothing beyond that. So please don't get too excited. Just wanted to bring home that point. Oil India and ONGC could be in focus because oil has extended the worst run of losses this year ahead of the Fed minutes. And again, that shouldn't come as a surprise. Now, the point is, viewers, while oil prices have come off, I thought the Morgan Stanley note on oil and gas was pretty interesting. They've maintained a non-consensus overweight on the energy producers. Oil India and ONGC are the key picks. They've raised the target price on ONGC to 199. They've raised the target price on Oil India to 323. In HPCL, they have a downgrade to equal weight from overweight and a target price cut. But ONGC and Oil India certainly finds favor with Morgan Stanley. If indeed you find favor here, could be interesting to monitor. So that's one more thing that you've got to keep in mind. Is there something else that uh, I have missed? Well, Prestige Estates, there's a Mumbai analyst meet and some very positive commentary thereof on sales targets and lease targets. So that is something that you got to watch out for as well. So that's the long and short of the trade setup today. I told you it won't be a very long one today, simply because there aren't enough uh, as many stocks in news you got to watch out for. I mean, there's an odd peninsula land on which there is some bit of legal moves, or there is a bit of a sulh or a compromise that the lenders have reached. So maybe Peninsula Lines at 12 rupees stock, who knows, might react a little bit. But interesting conversations continue on BQ Prime today. So talking point, we have Pratik Agarwal. It's first time under the Motilal Oswal banner from ASK. It'll be lovely to talk to him. Galaxy Surfactants. Remember, I told you we'll be talking to companies every day who come out with a good quarter. Galaxy Surfactants certainly fits that bill. We'll speak to you, Shaker, of the company. And of course, at 4 p.m., my colleague Alex will talk to Mrin Agarwal and Raghav Iyengar on the mutual fund show. So that is something you're going to watch out for as well. Thanks so much for tuning into the Trade Setup today. Have a great day ahead.